Colorado Springs is a fabulous place to live if you love the outdoors, and especially if you're a biker. And that's what we're going to talk about today, is the over 100 miles of on-street bike paths, 120 miles of off-street bike paths, and 60 miles worth of mountain biking trails, even within the city limits, much less hundreds just outside of Colorado Springs. So there's the top 11 trails that are awesome as far as bikers in and around Colorado Springs. Some of these you may know about, some you may not know about, and you don't know what you don't know. So let's check out 11 right now, and hopefully you pick up one that you weren't aware of beforehand. Connect with people just like you every day to help them discover where to live and invest in real estate and sell property for top dollar when the time is just right for them. My name is Leif Jacobson. I'm an ex-cop turned realtor, also known as Safe Leif. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe so you're first to learn about Colorado real estate. My contact information is right below. I'd love to receive a text, call, or email from you. Love to be engaging with folks and have you reach out to me. You can book a calendar appointment as well if that's a better way, and I will reach out to you, whatever works best. First trail we're going to talk about today is the Bear Creek Canyon Loop. It's a little more of an advanced trail as far as, depends on whether I'm talking with seasoned mountain bikers here or kind of, the general population. So bear with me if you're a super hardcore mountain biker. My hardcore classification might not meet what your grade is. This is an 8-mile trail, a little bit more advanced as far as more experienced mountain bikers. And it's located on the west side of town, just near Bear Creek Park, of course. It's a scenic 8-mile trail that makes for a pretty fun ride. It's an elevation gain of 2,200 feet in the first 4.5 miles, so it's a challenging workout, there's no question, as far as a bike exercise. You expect stream crossings and pretty deep berms as you conquer this advanced trail. There's lots of variation there. The last half of the trail is downhill, so it makes for a real fun finish. The second trail we'll cover is the Section 16 trail, which is in the Black Forest, which I go there with my family because I'm not far away from there. It's a really cool trail because it's really neat for the folks on the east side of town, out in Falcon, Peyton, and in the Black Forest. So you don't have to go all the way to the base of the Rockies or into the Rockies as far as getting some mountain biking, or even closer to downtown or by Palmer Park. So this trail is actually in a box shape, and it's around private property on the inside. It's kind of donated or designated property around the outside. It's a 1-mile box, so it's 4 miles total, 1 mile on each side of the box. It's located on the northeast side of town, just on the north side or kind of mid to north side of Black Forest. It's a gentle 4-mile loop throughout the trees with plenty of shade and kind of scrub brush around. So it's plenty of people walk on it as well. There's plenty of walkers. It's not just a biking trail, so it's important to make note of that. There's running, there's horseback rides as well. Horseback riders, people that bring their horses and horse trailers to ride their horses there, as well as mountain bikers. So it's not a speed trail. This is not for speed demons. This is more of kind of a family-friendly, multi-recreational park as far as biking. But if you're up for just kind of a leisurely park, if you have little kids, if you're doing something with a family, it can be a good fit for that. So you're likely under kind of lots of other visitors, including other activities like we talked about. So be careful and be respectful of that. People can walk their dogs, but dogs do have to be on a leash, and there's signs that say that. There's no significant climbs or descents. It's maybe a couple 100-foot elevation gain and little bumps as you're going along. And little ascents and descents, but nothing huge. It's pretty pleasant, and just a pretty nice stroll. It's great to do the weekends, during the week. There's lots of folks that use it all the time. It's open year-round as well. The third trail we're going to cover, which is actually more of an area because there's many trails. There's 14 trails covering over 20 miles, is Cheyenne Mountain State Park. It's not technically within the city limits of Colorado Springs. It's just on the south side or just south of downtown of Colorado Springs. And it is a fabulous state park. It's actually the newest state park in all of Colorado. It's beautiful mountain scenery. It's right at the base of Cheyenne Mountain, of course. And it's popular for well-maintained trails and campsites there as well. So it's a pretty sizable state park as far as the amenities that are offered there. Like I said, there's 14 different trails. It's a great place to visit again and again. So you have pretty good variety, so you won't get too bored and go on the same trails all the time. It's over 20 miles, caters to various difficulty levels. There's pretty advanced trails as well as super beginner trails, and pretty mellow as you kind of head up to the base of the mountain. Multiple trails can be linked for riding from 2 to 20 miles. So you can go long or short, kind of whatever you're up for there. The fourth trail we'll cover is the Garden of the Gods Ute Trail, which is a little more of a beginner's trail. It's about 5 miles. It's located in the heart of Colorado Springs. Pikes Peak is a backdrop, which provides breathtaking views. It's just incredibly gorgeous, with a little bit of a breathtaking effort. It's not easy as well. Well, it's a beginner trail, but it's not the easiest. It's not totally flat anyway. Perfect for acclimating to the elevation if you're just moving to Colorado Springs and kind of getting the lay of the land and getting a feel for being at 7 or so thousand feet. There's good options for visitors. It's a pretty good kind of general trail as far as exposure to mountain biking. It's sort of a leisurely ride through a world famous scenery in Colorado Springs. It's a good icon as far as kind of what Colorado is, right, with a view of Pikes Peak there. It's a great way to explore the #1 park in the nation, voted by TripAdvisor for its users, with iconic red spires in it. The rite of passage for anyone moving through the area is Garden of the Gods Ute Trail. And one advantage that's important to note with Garden of the Gods is when it was deeded to the city many, many years ago, the person who deeded it said, hey, I'm gonna turn this over to the city, but you can never charge to use this park. I want it to be free forever to all visitors to be able to enjoy Garden of the Gods. So it is a world-class place to be, and it doesn't cost anything as far as no user fees or anything like that. So that's important to note. I think that's pretty cool. A lot of national parks, state parks generally charge admission fees, and you can check out Garden of the Gods and use all the recreation activities there for free. The fifth trail we'll talk about is the North Catamount Reservoir. Again, not technically within the city limits of Colorado Springs. It's just out Highway 24 to the east. It's located just off the highway, very close to the highway. There is a $5 admission fee to the park, so there's that. But that keeps it in good shape and keeps the trails well maintained. It's a stunning 12-mile loop with picturesque views of Pikes Peak as you're going. It's just up and outside of Colorado Springs as far as the city limits, and has good views right to the southwest, so you can see the mountain right from there. It's kind of on a little bit of a plateau where that reservoir sticks out there. It's part of the larger Ring the Peak loop and offers connections to trails around Pikes Peak. It's high altitude biking, so you're over 9,000 feet, right? About 9,200 feet when you get up and out of the springs and onto this trail. Trail flexibility allows riders to reverse the loop or opt for a shorter ride via the Limber Pine Trail that also connects with it. For number 6, we'll kind of go big and talk about a trail that's really an entire mountain, which is Pikes Peak, which is America's mountain. It is massive. It's well over 14,000 feet as far as a peak. So you can go up and down, it's 20 plus miles of trails. Now, the big hill on the west side of town, if you can't miss it, just outside of Colorado Springs, that's what Colorado Springs is really known for. You can bike up, you can bike down, or you can do both. And many bikers choose to catch a ride up and then bike down, whether with a vehicle or on the cog rail. Advanced riders are looking for a challenge. We'll tackle a 19.5-mile trail to the summit. You can bike it all the way up, but then you gotta get down or catch a ride. Look out for wildlife, and eagles, deer, elk, Rocky Mountain bighorn sheep are all around, and marmots are pretty cool and fun to see. Average grade is 6.1% as far as how steep it is. It's incredible views of the city to enjoy at the summit, as well as beautiful views of the mountain as you're on your way up or down. There's a new visitor center at the top of the summit, which makes a really cool resting point, and there is a donut shop right at the top of Pikes Peak, where they have a very unique recipe. These donuts can only be made baked at 14,000 feet. If you ever tried to bake at high elevation, it is a niche and definitely not easy. You need to modify recipes, and they've perfected the recipe for fresh donuts right at the top of the peak. Pretty cool. The seventh trail or area we'll cover, again, there's more than one trail here, is the Palmer Park Loop. This is within the city limits of Colorado Springs. It's fabulous, right in the middle of town, kind of northeast side if you're coming out of downtown as far as Colorado Springs. So you don't have to go far. This is minutes from main shopping centers, Costco, Target. I mean, you're literally smack right in the middle of town. So if you need a quick break to do some biking over a lunch break or something like that, and you work in town at UC Health or one of the business parks nearby, it's a fabulous place to get out. So there's 12 miles of trails. Perfect in-town ride, especially on, like I say, on a break from work, or just in an afternoon or in an evening just before it gets dark after you get off work. Palmer Park is unique because you're in the middle of the city, but it feels like you're off the grid. It kind of feels like you're in the middle of nowhere. So it does a pretty good job of giving the ambiance there. There's excellent views of Pikes Peak throughout the trails there, and of downtown Colorado Springs, which you can see from there. The trails have drops and climbs to keep you engaged. It's a local favorite, but it's not too crowded, especially in the wintertime when it's cooler, and you can often be the only biker around, so that's a great. Number 8 is the Pancake Rocks Trail. Now this one we're going a little outside of Colorado Springs. We're about 45 minutes to the west here of Colorado Springs, just near Cripple Creek. So you're going out Highway 24 a ways, but it's a 6-mile loop. It's a great option for bikers who are looking for a quick escape from town. If you really don't want to be in town, you want to get out, kind of be in the Rockies, or kind of feeling like you're kind of base of the Rocky Mountains. This is a great trail for that. It's more of an advanced trail. It earns its rating. It's not an easy trail. So it boasts some good challenges and grades and switchbacks. Past riders say to budget about 3.5 hours for riding the whole trail. So it's not easy. It's quite a workout. Sweeping views at the top and a thrilling ride to make the rewarding challenge. The 9th ride we'll talk about is the Rampart Reservoir. It's located near Woodland Park. So again, not quite as far as the last one we talked about, but it is outside of Colorado Springs. It's about an intermediate trail, I would call it. It's about 14 miles. It's excellent for riders of various skill levels, for everybody to practice and kind of increase their skills. It's perfect balance of scenery and technicality, as far as it's got some good challenges, but it's not crazy technical or dangerous for kids or younger people. There's plenty of photo opportunities along the trail. It's a very popular area for fishing and hiking, so be ready to encounter other people who are doing other types of recreational activities. So if that bothers you, or you want a biker-only dedicated trail, maybe that's not the one for you. The trail is closed October through May because it's pretty high elevation, gets plenty of snow and ice during the winter months, and it's pretty cool. The 10th trail we'll talk about is called Seven Bridges, which is a very specific area that's just west of the Broadmoor, kind of downtown Colorado Springs. It's more of an advanced trail. It's not easy. It's got some pretty good ups and downs. It's about 5 miles. Not for beginners so much. It's pretty good challenge for riders. It's got roots and stream crossings, rocks, and it's got a few drops. It's known for being one of the toughest bike routes in all of Colorado Springs. Very popular hiking trail as well, so be respectful of hikers if you're biking along, so be careful there. It follows North Cheyenne Creek. The trail's mostly shaded. It crosses wooden bridges and ends up in a meadow with wildflowers that are in the spring if you're right around that type of year. The 11th trail and final trail we'll talk about is Ute Valley Park, which is right in Colorado Springs within the city limits on the northern side in a place called Rockrimmon. So right at the base of the west side of town. And just south of the Air Force Academy is the Ute Valley Park. So again, minutes from shopping and offices and restaurants and all sorts of amenities, as well as anybody who's fortunate to live in Rockrimmon surrounding this park, and you're minutes into this park. So there's walkers and bikers and hikers and all sorts of activities to do, but it's a great place to go biking inside of town. So it's about an pretty much 8 miles worth of trails. And it's a little north of Garden of the Gods as far as a description of the location there as well. It's another great in-town escape. It feels like you're completely off-grid, but you're right in the middle of the north side of town. It's a great combination of fast trails and technical sections as well. It's perfect for developing skills and fitness with fast downhill sections and pretty easy obstacles to navigate and practice on. It's a popular trail for hikers, like I say, and families with kids, so be careful, don't fly too fast or go too hard because you might run into somebody. So those are the 11 trails in and slightly around just outside of Colorado Springs that we'll talk about for bikers specifically, in a place where we get more sun than Southern California, as far as about 330 days of sun per year. It's a lot colder than Southern California, but we get just as much or more sun. And it's great to be outside, especially in the wintertime. When it's cold, it doesn't feel as cold when it's gorgeous and sunny outside. So hopefully there's a trail or two that you weren't familiar with that you can check out. If I missed 5 other trails that you would like to note, I'm sure that, there's dozens and hundreds of trails around here. I can't cover them all in one video, but I'd love to hear from you in the comments section. If you want to throw another trail out, I could do another video with a whole other list of trails I'm sure that I missed. If you want to put those out, I would love that. Shoot me a text, call, or email. I'd love to hear from you. I'm excited to engage with you. Love to be a resource in real estate, but I also do videos about stuff like this. It's just about fun recreational activities. So I'll talk to you soon. Catch you on the next video.